Hey everyone, I'm back home for the holidays and I wanted to do a wrap up of this year and include a training update. So, about a year ago, I started to have difficulty breathing, and it was actually during winter break, so being back home reminds me of that. And it continued throughout winter quarter and got worse in April. And there were times when I was really short of breath just sitting still, and it definitely affected my training. Sometimes I could breathe better during training, and other times I felt like I was going to pass out, so it was kind of scary. And I also suffered from a severe muscle spasm in January, and I lost range of motion in my right arm for a couple weeks, and that really messed with me mentally. And in the gym, but it really messed with me mentally because I wasn't used to not having use of one side of my body, and it was really painful. And that experience was a little bit traumatizing, but it got better. I went to see doctors and I had multiple doctor's visits throughout the beginning of this year and started to fix my body up. And then in the middle of the year, around when I began my contest prep for the USA's, I started to have major digestive issues. And that was pretty scary, and it also affected my prep a little bit, but it was something that I couldn't have predicted, and I decided to go through with the prep because I committed to it and it's something that I wanted to follow through with. And I would say in September I had started doing yoga, and that really helped me understand my body and be able to push harder at the gym because I had better control of my muscles, and I really felt like I was more in tune with my body than ever before. And I started to increase my caloric intake, and I started to train harder, and I was also breathing normally at the time. So it was my first time really being able to breathe and digest normally this year. And I continued to lift progressively heavier and more intensely for the next 3 months, so September through November. And when I came home for winter break, I was pretty surprised by my family's reaction to my body. They said that it would be okay if I were a son, but I have too much muscle for a female, and it kind of stung. And for a few days, I kind of let that sit for a few days, and I thought about it, and people in my life do have a right to tell me what they think, but I feel like it's also my body, and bodybuilding is a way that I express myself, and to be told that I no longer looked feminine by people whose opinion I cared about really stung. But I've decided that after much thinking, I would like to change the way I approach bodybuilding a little bit, and I am just focusing on bettering myself overall. So I had reached the point where I started to feel like I was a little bit uncomfortable, even before the comments by my family members. So I've decided to change up my training a little bit, and I will be focusing more on functional training and using more plyometric exercises, and instead of targeting my hamstrings, which I have been for the majority of this year and a half really, I'm going to do some more glute work. So I'll be working on that glute and hamstring tie-in, and I won't be training to put on size for now. I will just maintain my muscle mass and focus on leaning out for a contest this spring. So that's my training update. And for body image, that's something that I really am considering because I know that it is unusual, still relatively unusual, outside of the bodybuilding and fitness world for women to be strong. And I feel like it's getting more accepted in society, but I don't think it's right to tell a woman that being strong or looking muscular means they are losing their feminine qualities. So that's something to consider, and it's something for me to consider, is how much input from people whose opinions I truly care about am I willing to let affect my training and outlook on life. So until my next video, take care everyone.